Welcome everyone to okay. Let me try that one again.
New guy.
Welcome everyone to Episodes Unscripted. I am Scott Phelps, joined as always by Shauna Fretwell.
Hello.
And Charlie Harcum.
All right.
And we are also joined today by our special, wonderful guest, Erin Harcum.
Hello.
Erin, thank you for joining us. I understand you've seen this whole show all the way through. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay. We just have to make sure you don't. We're gonna bring you back for the end. We're on 3 and 4 now. So
yes. That's all I remember right now. So
okay,
good.
Perfect. Nailed it. Then we're good. So I'll give a recap for everybody, and we'll dive into it. For all of our listeners, also feel free to comment your thoughts on the show so far. We would love to hear some feedback. Episode 3. After the kiss in the previous episode, Joanne and Noah return to their normal lives. It's already funny. This is just the recap.
We couldn't remember his name.
The kiss that made her pregnant. It's the kiss that made her pregnant.
Wow.
It is.
Okay.
Wow. You couldn't remember his name. That's
Noah.
terrible.
Yeah, we
Okay.
couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
Wait,
and
what
then
did you say his name was?
Right. Noah.
What is it?
Noah.
Oh.
She texts him a joke. You know, that kiss was great. I think I'm pregnant. He doesn't respond for a while because he is in the hospital. Rebecca ran into the back of a bus and hurt her wrist. So she records a new episode of her podcast with her sister, Morgan. So everybody knows her name.
I forgot her name.
The
too.
guest is an aura specialist who talks about how people's energies and auras can determine compatibility. During the recording, Joanne starts questioning whether she and Noah are truly compatible. She texts Noah, but he doesn't respond right away, making her more anxious, the pregnant thing. Meanwhile, he's having his own issues. She's in a car accident.
Yeah, it was life-threatening.
There's this whole, you think she did it? Because... No.
The melodrama.
And they're all in there arguing. All the families are in there.
Why are they so stuck on Rebecca?
And by the end of the episode, both Joanne and Noah are dealing with self-doubt, wondering if they are worthy of being in a relationship. So, that's where we're at with episode 3. We can go ahead and dive into that. Or you just want me to give you the recap for episode 4? Let's do it that way. Why don't we?
I think one at a time.
Then we'll do one
please.
at a time. Perfect. Okay, good. Let's start with nobody wants this. I first want to ask for the ladies in the room. Chuck, that includes you. Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready.
Do you do that whole that first scene where she comes home?
Where they were talking about the UTIs?
And nope.
And I didn't even get it the fun way.
Great. Well, save it for the show because I have literally nothing to talk about this week. Okay, I've had a UTI for the last 3 days, and I didn't even get it the fun way.
Oh, yeah.
No.
First of all, I would never talk about that stuff to my mom.
Okay, but can I tell you, I have to say, y'all, the dynamic between these sisters and their mom, that is my life.
Okay, then this is perfect then for my question, because you guys obviously grew up in very different, worlds. Do you do that whole girly, you just kiss a guy and you come home? Well, you might not anymore, Erin, but
yeah, that's been a really long time.
And you do this whole okay, guys, and you describe this kiss. That's it. She just described
Just had the single greatest kiss of my entire existence.
Okay.
I call it the board. So I have a board, which is 3 or 4 women in my life that everything that happens gets run by them and they weigh in. That's kind of what this was. This is her board. She goes back to them and she's like, all right, here's the scoop.
But it was I have this story to tell you. This kiss, let me tell you. Chuck, do you?
I mean, I don't like to kiss and tell, but no, I have never, ever, ever
I
gone
remember
back to a bro and Dude.
Bro.
I
You won't
remember, like,
believe.
Don't act like that's so foreign. It's
when I
called
was
locker room
younger,
talk.
going and
I don't.
oh my
I
gosh,
don't
she kissed me,
participate.
but it's been over 20 years. So
Okay.
It's been
Man,
over
so
20 years since you've been kissed. That
when
is
you were
accurate.
like 5?
for the first time,
Aw.
Charlie. Yeah, I was 5.
Nice. All right. Okay. I mean,
Now,
that's
when
But wait a
when
minute.
Shauna said board though, I was like, I do have a whiteboard where I write down
right down.
all the cool
You're so
things
dumb.
that happen.
You're so dumb. But
I
here,
thought that's what she meant when she
Wait.
said board.
No, like a board of directors. Like
Yeah.
so
me
when they
write it
were
on the board.
talking about the UTIs, and then they're talking about it in front of their mom, which I probably wouldn't have done. But then she starts talking about it, and they're like, "Ew, stop!" Like, so it's okay to talk about it in front of mom, but not her.
But not mom talk about it.
Yeah, don't let mom talk
'cause
about it.
I think, yeah, that's because I think she was like, what'd she say? She was like, I used to get them all the time with your father.
I used to get them all the time with your father.
Mom, gross. Morgan.
See, I wouldn't have even been in talking like that in front of mom, so she wouldn't have been telling me that
Oh,
either.
man.
I mean, parents don't do that sort of thing, right? Please tell me they don't.
No, they don't. There's no
Okay,
way
good.
they do.
Good.
No. I mean, you might, but parents don't. So you're a parent.
I
We'll move on.
didn't realize that the mom. It was just a little bit weird for me when she was suddenly like almost on that episode of their podcast. Like I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
is she on the podcast or?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
I
it
think
was
she was there
her
for the comic
guest.
relief piece.
It was her guest.
she's the one who brought him.
I think it's a very
Oh.
Wing it kind of thing. I mean, it's not like
kind of like this. We just let anybody show up. Got it.
Dang.
wow.
Man, okay.
Dang.
I
All
will
right.
say, let me make up for that real quick. I did
Yeah.
write down the very first note I have up here, and I'm not saying this just because Erin's here.
Yeah.
I wrote down, and this is not going to make me cry.
Oh,
But it could.
Here we go.
I think me and Erin have turned into that couple where it's like,
Oh.
oh, they're just so. Look, they have so much fun hanging out with each other now. It's so.
Which
Agree.
couple?
I'm not sure why I wrote that down actually, but I think it was just.
I don't.
You think
it's a
you're
couple on
Noah and
this show.
Joanne?
No,
I think you're the
yeah.
other couple.
No.
We are not the
it
other
was,
couple.
It was
Yes,
no one.
I
Esther
think
and
you
the
are.
brother?
Yeah.
What's the brother's name?
Sasha.
Sasha.
Why
I
does he
can't
remember
remember.
names?
But
Okay, his
that's coming up in the 4th one. I have a note for the
Okay.
4th episode for that.
I definitely think you guys are.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Because what did was that? Yeah, that's in the 4th. We'll talk about.
I also want to
Episode
know
4, but-
while Sean and Erin are talking about how maybe women behave when stuff like that's going on.
Yeah.
Her constant checking of texts like, "Hey, has he
Oh,
responded
yeah.
back?" Is that a real thing, or is that just a
Like,
little
oh
bit
my
of a
gosh, she hadn't
cliche?
texted
I
me
think when you
back.
first started, like your first date, or you've just met this person and they get your number and you're kind of like looking like,
Like early on.
Yeah, when everything's because you don't really know where it's going.
How are
Like
they
there's a lot of
feeling?
there's a lot of unknowns.
But now, if Chuck doesn't respond to you, you're just like, I mean, okay.
it's typical Charlie.
Wow.
I mean, you got to respond at some point. Jeez.
No, he doesn't.
But it is so cool when they respond back then. I mean, it is now too. But
Yeah.
early on, when you're like, oh my
Get
gosh,
that
I think
notification.
I
When
kind of
Charlie-
like this person, and they
when
reply.
Charlie and I were dating, though, it was, did he send me an email?
Right. That's what I was going to
That's
say.
right.
You didn't get that notification on your phone. It was
That's
go
right.
run home to the computer.
Oh, I
get
got
an
one
email?
inbox. One.
Who could it be?
TurboTax.
Dang it.
Ugh. Okay. I thought the Aura guy was stupid.
He was ridiculous.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I hate the fake doc. Well, okay.
Whoa.
take a second.
Whoa.
Let's take a second here. I did
Tread
write down
lightly.
fake doctor, but then I thought, I mean, we're all friends here.
Okay.
I started thinking, I want to know what Shauna's thoughts are on maybe
Oh, no, I
those
knew y'all thought about
me. I did.
So the thing that they did with his character was terrible, though. You know what I mean? whatever merit that there is to that was not present with that character.
Okay.
But if it was somebody else, you'd be
Because he
like,
was
oh,
He was obviously
is the
being
right
a
energy.
weirdo.
He was very. Then he starts like putting his hands all over her face, and,
And
it's like,
they
okay,
said
come on,
that
like,
he
who would
said
actually be into that?
She didn't have an aura. That was sad.
What did she say? She's like, why are you touching my face?
She's
Because
like,
you
"You
didn't have to
didn't
touch
anybody
hers?"
else's.
I love her. She's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What? Why are you touching me? Because you didn't touch anybody else.
Having a little bit of a hard time.
Oh, she's definitely funny. But yeah, no, I had a feeling you guys were going to come for me on that one, but it was not.
When I heard it, I immediately thought,
It was not
oh, boy,
good.
here we go.
Nope, it was not
I was
good.
thinking she's going to say, one time I had an aura doctor tell me that I was.
I have had my
Pisces
aura
and-
read. I have had my
really?
aura read.
What did
Okay.
they tell
But
you?
that's none of y'all's business. But like, I'm going to tell y'all. But that particular example was really terrible. I would never have entertained a conversation with
You
someone
wouldn't have
like
paid
that.
for that?
No.
It felt like it was just a vehicle to have Joanne appear to be. Oh,
But is
what?
that
Right.
the
Is
one
something
that her
wrong with me?
sister didn't do the
You
homework
got this.
to figure out if he was reliable or not? Or is that a different podcast session for her?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
She probably could have looked him up first.
It was either in 3 or 4 that she was like, you didn't do your homework. You did not make sure he was.
Okay. You need to be fact checking that.
I did, kind of.
Legit.
I don't remember that, but you might be on
Oh,
something.
maybe it was.
That
him.
sounds, yeah.
I also have down here, actually, before I said fake doctor, man, Sasha continues to be the best thing
Yeah.
about
He
this.
really
The
is,
brother
though.
and the
show.
sister. It's the sidekicks. The sidekicks.
Yeah,
They're the
are-
we
best.
The
said
loser
that last
siblings.
time. Yeah.
Oh.
The loser
But-
siblings.
I don't like that her mom and sister were picking on her for her joke. It was a funny joke.
Oh,
It was an awesome
They're
joke.
very hard
I
on
was
her,
on
though.
joke.
They're
Yes,
hard
they
on her. I
are.
don't like how they talk to her because they're just as bad, if not worse, than any dude that they would gripe about. Like, they're really critical of her.
They
It's
are
funny.
mean to her. And I just love that he just got it and went with it.
But that's the thing. I think it was set up so that then he would be the only one that
Right.
appreciated it. And she's like, oh, because he said, yeah,
It is a good
you're
setup.
pregnant. This is exciting. I know I'm a good kisser, but I didn't know.
Well, and that
Yeah.
joke was not that edgy. I mean, it wasn't an offensive thing to say. It wasn't
Right.
totally out of pocket. I mean,
But she convinced her. She's like, guys don't like pregnancy jokes. He's probably sitting there right now, like,
And you're her
That's-
sister and her mom, and you're supposed to be lifting her up, and you're just bringing her down.
That's why it felt so weird, though, was because, okay, all they did was kiss. It's not like, oh, might she be pregnant? Like,
obviously,
just
he
such a
doesn't. He's
weird-
not going to think she's
well,
serious.
but I
Right.
mean, she didn't know though, because as we've heard, her routine is not to have like a nice, slow relationship with a guy. It's because, like she said,
right,
you
maybe
know,
it could have been
and then what
somebody
happened
else. I didn't
next?
think about
Well,
that.
obviously, you went back to the restaurant and hooked up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you have all those UTIs. My God.
You know what happens next?
Yeah, you went back to the restaurant and fucked in the bathroom.
No, we just kissed. I said that on the way in.
Well, maybe that's why you have all those UTIs. My God.
One thing, just for Aaron's benefit here, too, we make a point of saying, and he does it in this episode, too, just everything he says
Oh,
is perfect.
well,
it's-
some of
it's-
that's the writing too.
At
right?
some point,
Well, yeah,
he's
of
got to
course.
turn, right? We're in
Right.
agreement.
I'm just
No.
At some
dying for
point-
a.
Is
Oh
it
my
a female
gosh.
writer or a male writer?
Oh, that's
I'm-
a good question.
I'm going collab all the way. I really think it's
the male's like, so what would you want me to say here?
Right.
What-
Yeah.
You know,
So
well,
then
if you
I would
just,
say,
so but I would, okay. And I'd say, that's cool. No, that's cool. No, I'd say,
nah.
that's okay.
Oh, I thought of one thing. We're not there yet, but I have to remember to say something.
Then I
about
put
it.
my
Okay.
hand.
Did you write it down?
Then I put my hand on her shoulder, or is it too soon?
Right.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Does the family not know the story of what happened? When we're sitting in the hospital room, in the waiting room, and they're drilling him like, she loves you, by the way.
I don't think
You just dump her?
It's a shame she had to have an accident to get you to pay attention to her.
they obviously don't know.
Shikska?
No, they know about the
Shiksa?
shit.
They don't know that she went and put
Shiksa?
the engagement ring
Put the
on before
engagement
somebody
ring
gave
on.
it to her.
Oh, the
Right.
story as to why
Because I'm
they're not
thinking-
together.
They think he proposed. He
Which
did
honestly, I hate to say this, but it's true. It makes him that
Ooh.
much better of a guy too. The fact that he didn't go like explain to everybody,
put her on blast.
hey, by the way, though, this is what she
Yeah.
did. You know, so
He's
he
too
kind of
good.
saved.
He just wants to be
But
done with it.
he's getting drilled for it. Like,
He
you're an
is.
idiot. Why would you dump her?
Get
And I'm thinking,
over
like,
freaking Rebecca. Oh
none
my
of them
gosh.
know then. except I would argue that Esther knows because that's her best friend. So surely she
Esther.
would know.
Esther's interesting.
Can I confess
She-
to one thing real quick? I
Yeah.
thought they were sisters until this episode.
Yeah, we had to
I
get him
thought
straight.
Esther and Rebecca were sisters.
You also thought 11 was a boy for like the first 5
I
episodes.
still do.
Charlie!
And you were
I still
convinced
do.
that it was going
Charlie.
By the way,
Anyway.
real quick, that's I guess it's Rebecca's mom. That's Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Anybody pick up on that?
No,
Curb Your
That's-
Enthusiasm.
Oh.
Yo,
that's great.
familiar. Susie.
Well, his
Okay.
mom and his dad are from what?
Right,
they've
we
been on
talked about
Plenty.
that. His mom is from Walking Dead. Okay, sorry, Scott.
That's
Go
great.
ahead.
Well, I mean, we're all just sharing a note here. Doesn't have to be me. Okay.
She's in God's hands now. That joke.
The melodrama of all these people.
How is she?
She's in God's hands.
Right. And how is the rest?
There's no way to know.
Yeah, that
That's
was
so reminded me of Michael Scott when he comes in and he's talking about having hit Meredith
They
with his
tried
car.
to save her
They
life,
tried to save her.
and she's gonna be okay. Why'd you have to phrase it like that?
Why'd you say it like that? She's in
You out of
God's
your
hands
mind.
now.
Yeah, that was- but
I mean, the writing is really good on this show.
the interaction
for sure.
outside when he's like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, is everything okay? I've got 10 calls." He said she's almost in a coma, and so she's like, "I don't know what almost in a coma is." I mean, she hurt her wrist, but
10 calls from Rebecca's phone? It was her mom saying she's almost in a coma?
I don't know what almost in a coma means, but
okay. You think she did it? Because like,
By the way,
'Cause of
also,
you?
I mean, he keeps his phone like not in front of his face a lot. Like he misses all of
he's
that.
better than us. He's better than
And
us.
right. And
But
then
it
he
is surprising
misses
because he's a
all of
rabbi,
her.
and usually clergy are
Right.
pretty attached to their phones. They get calls for all sorts of things.
I
Maybe
or
because
that
he's
was
not
just
the head
convenient
yet.
to for the story.
right. But see, that's what's funny is then on the other hand, like Joanne has no idea. You know, she texts him. Throw this in there too. It's 1:30 in the morning. It's the middle of the night. They leave, right?
Oh
Because
my
you see at one
gosh.
point on her phone, it's 1:30, and then he
Ah.
shows up,
Really?
and it's 2. Yeah,
I didn't pay attention to that.
yeah. He shows up with the
When-
dog at the
when
very
she
He
end,
got
and
did
he's
say it
like,
was
Yeah.
about 2:00.
It's in the middle of the night.
So it's literally the middle of the night, and she's staring at her phone like, oh my gosh, she's freaking out, being convinced all these different things. He just doesn't even have his phone. She went on this whole episode like by herself of spiraling. He just doesn't even have his phone.
But that's what we do. What we get in our heads.
Right. That's
the
what.
thing.
Yeah,
When you
that's what I'm
think about
saying,
it,
like,
yeah, and then it just goes from there. And I will say, really and truly, I mean, the writers, I think so much of the show so far is speaking to universal experiences. There is an element of truth to that, right? When you're anxious about something and then you start thinking about it too hard, and the next thing you know, the apocalypse just happened. Oh, you
Right.
didn't have your phone. Okay.
right.
We're
Right.
I'm good now. I'm good. I'm good.
Whew.
So you were talking about she's in God's hands now. That was really dramatic. I thought it was really dramatic when Esther goes, "You're not just breaking up with her; you're breaking up the whole family."
All these people. If
I'm
this
like,
man
that
has
is
like
so-
deep internalized shame that he can never get past, that's why.
And then she walks away, and Sasha's like, "Yeah, breaking up the whole thing. I'll get on it. Don't worry."
I love him. He is hilarious.
Again, I want to know if I think we talked about this last time, but I want to know. So even in just that
Have you
hospital
ever
scene
seen
when
the
the
rain?
when the Jewish family is all together, and they're doing what I would consider the stereotypical Jewish
banter,
kind of banter and interaction. I would love for somebody to let us know. No, that's really how Jewish families are. Like,
well,
it's
you
just
said the
over
same
the top.
thing about when I was watching the Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever on Amazon.
Oh, that was an
excellent.
excellent.
Right. That's right.
Excellent.
That is the stereotypical.
That's how it goes. Okay.
Maybe not today. Maybe more in the past, but if they are very into the culture and religion,
yeah.
I really appreciated the Adam Levine joke. I don't know if they meant it that way or not, but that was hilarious.
Went on for a little while too. It was good.
Well, when he said, well, just the very end, so they do that bit, and then they're walking away. They have this thing, and the way every scene ends, they're throwing extra little lines in there as we're transitioning.
You think they're written in or they're improv?
I would dare say they're improv because it would seem. I don't know how you write.
This is so well written, though. Yeah, I think they've thought about all of that.
Delivered really well, which makes me think it might be improv. But when they're walking away, and he's like, Adam Levine, really? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, you just seem like, an aggressive. I just picture him as like a gentle type. And I'm like, oh, that's a brutal. Yeah, just picture Adam Levine as like a gentle type, like not DMing girls or anything.
A dress for his daughter.
Yeah. He slid in some DMs and, he's done his fair share of things.
Took his shirt off for no reason at Super Bowl. That was a bit much.
He's a guy.
I don't know. I just know his voice does not match his face.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh.
He's so weird. Adam Levine. I don't like him very much. He's so creepy to me.
He has a nice face, apparently.
I thought the dog thing was pretty funny. Because she's like, that's my favorite sweater and I'm going to ruin it. And she turns around and like goes sit on the curb. Her knees are so dirty.
Yes. I'm glad like, you said
that. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That is,
From
what do you
crawling
mean?
in the bushes.
First, I never even saw her get, I don't know if she ever got her knees in the mulch. Come on now.
Right.
We ever did it just a little bit.
They shoot the scene and then they're like, okay, Kristen, can you come over here actually? Okay, can you just rub your knees into that dirt like really aggressively?
That's like the commercial where the lady's running and they make her do it over more mud.
Right.
Do it over more mud.
The continuity there was a little. I was like, I don't know. I didn't. But then that dog was trying to get away from her as they're sitting on that curb, and I'm like, man, they're struggling to shoot this.
That's just what I was thinking too. I read down the dog like.
I didn't pick up on any of that.
I didn't either, but he was so mangy.
She kind of went to pick it up, and it was like, whoa, that thing's going to get out of her arms.
Because that's what Kevin does to me. I'll pick him up when he doesn't want to, and he'll like wiggle like,
right.
I'm going to finesse out of this.
I thought I could smell that dog through the TV. That dog looked so gross. I was like, oh no, don't pick him up.
Oh.
I have written down big hugs joke. What is that? Big hugs joke.
Well, we could do this thing
very
again.
Good notes.
Yeah, they were. He was hugging his dad. Noah was hugging his dad after they had the talk.
That's right.
And then Sasha comes in. Oh, group hug! Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let's do some of this.
Are we doing big hugs? Yeah, let me get in on that.
Oh yeah. Oh, we doing big hugs?
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good.
Okay, we can jump to episode 4 unless anybody has.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, please.
Real quick. Still on 3. Not gonna cry.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I have 2 things, Scott. Sorry. One is specifically about you. That feeling when you are verified in your feelings. So she was worked up. She was anticipating. Oh my gosh, he's not replying. And then for him to come, and he's sitting on those steps outside with her and thinking, this is crazy. Why am I showing up here? And then he realizes, oh, she's feeling the same thing I'm feeling. Like, that's such a good feeling. I just got goosebumps literally thinking about it. That's such a good verification of, okay, I'm doing something crazy here, but I'm not in it by myself. And I feel like, okay, I wasn't being ridiculous. And this person's at least almost on the same level as me feeling something here. That was pretty cool.
That's, man, yeah, because when you say that, I think of something, and I don't know if you're thinking of it too, but I've definitely, it was that same
when me
type
and you
of
felt verified about our feelings for each other.
We had a moment like that. It was on a different level, but you know, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, he is thinking about me. It wasn't that kind of thing, but yeah, it's a very real feeling.
It was.
And then, yeah, they portrayed it really well.
The other thing I had, so there was a cool song playing at the end of episode 3 by a very well-known, apparently, I mean, not apparently, she's not with us anymore, Amy Winehouse.
No. No, Charlie,
No.
I told you it was Rihanna.
You thought it was Amy.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Yes, that's what he said.
It was
Amy
Rihanna,
Winehouse,
but we thought it was
Rihanna.
Amy Winehouse. And then, Scott, you're a big Amy Winehouse fan?
I mean, she's cool. I was
Erin,
before my time.
Erin, you ruined that. You made me look like an idiot.
I didn't ruin that. He did talk to me about Amy Winehouse.
Me?
Yes.
Y'all had a moment.
We
Amy
did have a
Winehouse.
conversation about Amy Winehouse. I think
Did
we were
we?
walking to Walgreens or somewhere.
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
And I
Not
talked
in
about Amy
this
Winehouse.
apartment, but the other apartment.
Right. I remember that.
And you had your boot on.
I don't remember talking about Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
I remember.
Maybe you wanted to be like her, or like that kind of not like her.
27
You wanted a
Club.
beehive?
That's not funny. We shouldn't say that.
Yes, he was talking about the 27 Club.
I just really want to be like Amy Winehouse. That's okay. I don't remember that. But
you mentioned the 27 Club, though.
I probably did. Yes, that sounds exactly like me. And she's in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
that's probably what I meant. I was probably saying I want to be in the 27.
Yeah, but you were talking about Amy Winehouse.
Oh, man. Okay. Episode 4, unless anybody else has any other thoughts on episode 3.
Good. He's too perfect.